Cure fighting as well. True. You're not wrong. You're not wrong, Papi. You're not wrong. And here we go, spawning in the top left-hand corner of Neon Violet Square. We have the manager of the SC2 division of Team Liquid, the Polish Protoss player. It is MaNa. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his employee. We have one of his boys representing Team Liquid from South Korea. It is Cure, the Blue Terran. Here we go. Does Cure want to get paid this month? Does he? Oh no. So yeah, something you don't often think about, but yeah, shout out to MaNa, of course, for, you know, having other roles and other responsibilities in his team. Do love to see it. Also just making sure, okay, we're good. We do have music going on, but we are going to be settling in. Ooh. And yeah, I mean, MaNa has been around he's been a competitor for a very, very long time. He is one of the OGs, a veteran of StarCraft 2. What I will say, and I bring this up every now and then, especially in recent times, is that MaNa, he did take a bit of a hiatus. He wasn't competing as much, I want to say 2023 he was again a little bit less active even towards the end of 2022, but it's great to see MaNa kind of have that fire lit once again this year. Part of me thinks that it might have been Stormgate. For those that recall, MaNa, he did hit Stormgate quite hard. Like he did play a lot of it. He was of course a part of a lot of the show matches as well. He was streaming it, and he actually got a lot of popularity on YouTube as a result as well. And afterwards he came back and he started being more active in these open cups in SE2. So I wonder if maybe like that competitive nature in him was, again, kind of like that fire was reignited within him, and, you know, the passion that it was laying dormant and it's back and it's brighter than ever. And yeah, it's been really cool to see MaNa over the past, I want to say like 8 months, like 6 to 8 months, playing more and more in these open tournaments. And not just play more, I should emphasize, but get better results. Like MaNa, he's been taking down some big names. He's been getting some really good results here in like OC King of the Hill, for example, in the best of ones, in these open tournaments, whether it's the War TV Mondays or the KSRCs or even the Pigasor Monday is a little bit too late, but even here in the OlimoLeague. So it's been great to see the return, in a way, of MaNa. For now, Twilight Council opener here for MaNa. Nothing too crazy, nothing too wild. I mean, on a larger map like this, I would not be opposed to a Stargate opener here from our Protoss player, but regardless, you know, Twilight Council is just a very safe way to play. I imagine it's going to be safe here. I imagine he won't be too aggressive. I mean, this map isn't really prone to 4-gate blink. Diving into the main base isn't really possible here, and likewise, your third base is very secure as well. So I would imagine like 2 or maybe 3-gate blink into a third. I would imagine MaNa is getting ready for a longer game state. I would imagine. Meanwhile, we do have a Cure getting to his Rax Expand. CC on the low ground, getting to his 1-1-1 follow-up. Ooh, working towards a Mine Drop. This is a little bit old school. Mine Drops have fallen out of favor, and we don't see them as often as we used to. I mean, this used to be kind of the bread and butter of TvP a year ago, or maybe a little bit more than a year ago, pre-Widowmine nerf, but post Widowmine nerf, it has kind of died off a little bit. We do see it like maybe once in a best of 5, like once in an extended series. So it's great to see Cure actually committing harder here. This is not a double Widowmine drop, it's going to be a quadruple Widowmine drop. Very committed. Much more committed here. This means, I mean, typically a mine drop is designed to scout. It's just designed to scout, to get a read on what's going on, get an eye on the tech and on the production. With 4 Widowmines, now there's a lot more pressure on Cure to get damage done. A lot more pressure here. Actually get some damage back at home. Blink is on the way. Again, no surprise here. We have 2 gateways in the main. We have 1 gateway at the natural. So 3-gate Blink out of MaNa is going for a bit of a, again, just a really safe build. Just a much safer build here, going for a third base as a follow-up. This isn't as greedy as 2-gate Blink, for example, and isn't as aggressive as 4-gate Blink. It's right down the middle. This drop is going to be boosting in. Oh! Does head for the mineral line. Widowmine's going to be dropping, and MaNa, he does pull away at least some of his workers in time, but no! Does pull away some. The retargeting, 6 pros go down, massive connections, 2 Widowmines are saved, 2 did go down, so 2 for 6, I would say better trade for Cure. Likewise, he gets a full scout, he gets eyes on the 2 gates and on the researching Twilight Council. So Kira is aware of what's going on. Meanwhile, Hellions, oh my god, they do bust into the natural. 3 more probes go down. Remember, it was 6 workers in the main and 3 workers here at the natural. The probes, they do get softened up. Widowmine drop coming back into the main base and now has reset, now has recharged. And MaNa is looking for that drop. Oh, does spot it. And will blink into the main. But the Widowmines will burrow and, oh, they will burrow in time. No retargeting, 2 more probes, and they will be cleaned up. As the dust settles, what was the trade looking like here? 11 probes, 1 Stalker for 4 Widowmines and 2 Hellions. I would say that was quite worth it here for Kira, especially considering that, again, his role with that aggression was also to get a full scout of what was happening. Does confirm the 3-gate blink, which means Kira knows he is safe. He knows he is safe back at home. He's just securing himself. We have a tank further back. Stim is on the way. We're getting to the rest of our racks. It's going to be a 3-1-1 setup here by Cure. And MaNa is just chilling back at home, expanding, getting his 3rd. He's just going to be getting his 3rd base up and running. We can see Cure coming in for a bit of a backstab. Going to be going for that Raven harass here, auto-start harass into the main. MaNa is somewhat in position, has plenty of Stalkers, can blink of course. And MaNa should be able to react in time. There we go. Shuts down the auto turret, forces back the Raven, even gets a bit of damage off on it as well. Very nice response, very nice defense here by MaNa. Nicely done. From here, he can now focus on saturating his 3rd, getting it up and running. We'll have to leave some units in position as I'm sure Raven will be coming back in. The Observer is on top of the Raven, so it does get eyes on that. MaNa is aware. Also, Kira knows that he knows. That as the Raven is also a detector, so that they do see each other. Bold move, MaNa going to be moving out. Going for a gateway explosion. An interesting choice, MaNa did decide not to take into splash damage yet, but to prioritize charge. So he's going for a very gateway heavy composition, a swarm toss style if you will, going Blink Stalker into charge lots. Meanwhile, Kira has been building up, he's getting his 3rd CC on location, he is not all in, but he is pushing nonetheless. And he's built up to 4 tanks. Stim is done, but you can see Kira being very patient. Has yet to stim. Wants to preserve those Marines, preserve that energy. Still moving forward. And MaNa at least is aware and is attempting to slow it down. Oh! It's attempting to. MaNa coming in from behind. Behind this, reinforcing with charge lots. +1 is still on the horizon. But working as best he can. We have 1 shield battery here at the natural, no shield battery at the 3rd. Kira rotates, Kira meets up with the Raven. There is no disable. But he does have auto turrets and the anti-armor missile. Scans ahead of time. MaNa trying to set up the surround. And Kira's getting within range of the Robo. Robo's going to be under fire. Charge will say dive in. Stalkers as well. They do focus on the Raven, but the Raven did throw down those auto turrets. Ooh, Stalkers go down. Nice kiting here by Kira, but MaNa, he will defend. Cleans up every single tank. Nice surround here, and MaNa holds. Does hold on, didn't lose any production, preserved his immortals. MaNa did lose all of his Stalkers. That is a little bit concerning. That was 7 Stalkers going down. Unfortunately, the dive on the Raven wasn't really worth it. If you recall, the Raven already spent its energy. Already was able to utilize its spells, of course. From here, Kira is going to be rotating. MaNa trying to keep up. Shield battery now on the way. MaNa, I believe, did miss the rotation. And this army is looking a little bit exposed here. Yeah, MaNa has to calm down. Pulls back. Likewise, Kira going to be rallying across the map. Is going to be reinforcing. His 4th TC is on the way. His 3rd is already up and running. Again, it's half a base, but is up. Yeah, and with this Kira, I mean, his economy has been left untouched. Does have that supply lead. And he's looking to move forward, and without splash damage, I'm getting concerned here for MaNa. Again, there's no Storm, there's no Colossus. Kira pushing in. MaNa trying to maintain himself. Does open a massive wave of Zealots. Trying to collapse in, decent force with the Mind Shots. Mind Shots go up. They shut down the Zealots. And without the Zealots, this army is vulnerable. Nice force fields. They do actually buy some time. Yeah, the Bio army cannot engage. MaNa holds. MaNa does hold on, and there it is. The Colossus. We're going to double Colossus production. They're on the way, and MaNa desperately needs them now. Does need them. Kira getting his 4th. Oh, MaNa setting up for a drop into the main. Let's go. Setting up for a counterattack. The main base is looking quite vulnerable, but Vikings are about to pop out. We'll be able to chase down that prism at least. So let's go for the SCVs. Workers are going down. Cure. Reinforcing in the center of the map. Ooh, prism falls. That is going to be 6 SCV kills and denied mining in the main. Not bad. Does deny mining time. Cure's army rotation gets spotted by the observer. MaNa's in position. He's got 2 Colossus. MaNa, he's keeping up. He's keeping up, engaging with the army. Ooh, Colossus under a lot of fire. The Zealots go down, and the Marauders, they stim in. They focus on the Marauder, they're going for the Stalkers, but there's just not enough beef here to Cure's army. Doesn't have the numbers, at least not across the map. Jesus, how many SCVs did he? Oh my god. He's just making non-stop SCVs back. He's up to 72, getting now a 5th expansion. 5th CC on the way. I was curious. I was like, where's the supply, Papi? I mean, oh, I mean, a lot of it is back at home. But the other in SCVs. As Cure, he's been able to take up into more Vikings, into Ghosts. EMP is now available, and here we go. Cure does once again move out. As we have mentioned a couple of times already here in this game, I mean, it does take a little bit longer for the reinforcements to arrive, so Cure hasn't been able to really press his advantage and utilize his momentum as much as he otherwise would have liked to. Just because he eventually runs out of steam. MaNa has been able to hold quite well. Pylon will spot the rotation. MaNa has time to respond. MaNa has time to... there we go. Does rotate. But a little bit too late. Yeah, the base under fire. Shield battery goes down. Let's pick up here for Cure. But we're up to 3 Colossus. That's a lot of Colossus. EMP connecting with mainly Stalker. EMPs go up. Oh my god. Maestro connects. Another War Prism into the main. Zealots likewise harassing the 4th base. Trying to distract Cure. They do attempt. Turret's in position. Prism takes a lot of hits, but should survive. Oh god! Oh, barely does. Going for the Warpin. The Vikings, they arrive. No, they deny the Warpin. Warpin is denied. Cure holds. Will lose a Ghost. Does hold on. Meanwhile, MaNa, he's still making more Colossus. Jeez, he's getting up to 5. That's a little bit overkill there for MaNa. I would love to see either Storm or Disruptors soon thereafter. Typically, relying heavily on one form of splash damage is not the wisest of moves here. And 5 already is quite a lot. What do we have next? More Colossus. He's making a 6 Colossus. He's crazy. Oh, the lasers, Papi. Let's go. EMP's going off. Good EMP on the Colossus. Likewise on the Zealots as well. Army's going to be engaging. 5 Colossus dive in, but that's what the Vikings are for. Lasers are good, but Vikings, they're better. They take down 1, they take down 2 Colossi. The other 3 under heavy fire. Nice kiting here by Cure. Shuts down the Zealots. Pushing in. Vikings are still in the sky. Down to 3. But Vikings nonetheless. Cure, he wants those Colossi. He wants them. Up. He's going to get them as well. 3rd one goes down. Down to 2. Down to 1. Down to none. GG gets called. MaNa gets broken. And Cure will take a lead in the series. GG. And we had 2 more Colossus on the way. it was crazy. GG, well played. Cure will take a lead in the series, but a shout out to MaNa because I was very impressed with how MaNa was able to defend and hold his own for most of that game, despite the fact that there were times where Cure had like a 30-40 supply lead. It was not enough to break MaNa. MaNa was able to hold his own there towards the end. Unfortunately, MaNa didn't, 1, he had a bit of a late rotation to keep up with the army, but 2, again, relying that heavily on Colossus. He was getting up to 7 Colossus, by the way. He had 5 Colossus and 2 more on the way. That would have been 7 if given the time. That's crazy. Aye, aye, aye. And I do know that obviously the Disruptor has been nerfed in the end, in this latest patch. That is true, but that doesn't mean that the Disruptor doesn't have any value. The Disruptor definitely does. The Disruptor still one-shots Ghosts, still one-shots Marines, and still forces Micro and forces, just forces control out of the opposing aggressing Terran player. Doesn't one-shot Marauders, but I mean, that doesn't mean that it's useless here. So unfortunately, I mean, again, even if you want to avoid Disruptor, you can go into Storm as well. Again, I'm sure MaNa's aware, but alas, he was just focused and tunnel visioned on Mass Colossus, and alas, unfortunately, they did topple over, and GG, well played. Kira takes the lead, and now we're getting into game number 2. Ooh, it's going to be on Amygdala. Let's go. As a reminder, this is MaNa's map of choice. Is MaNa's map of choice. Here it is, a loser's pick. And here we go. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of Amygdala, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Cure. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Polish Protoss player, the Blue Protoss representing Team Liquid. It is MaNa. So in chat, if you can recast the Hero vs. Down series, trust me. I will recast only game 1. I imagine you're referring to. The frame drops that were occurring in game 1. So yes, that was the plan. That was the plan here today. Is I will be casting Hero vs. Down. That will be occurring, but I'll be only recasting the first game. Game 2 and game 3. The rest of the series, I should emphasize. Was quite solid and was quite clean, but I'll definitely get back into game 1 for sure. We'll get there. We'll get there. As we have the eBay block here by Cure, is going to be delaying and disrupting the build of choice here by MaNa. Force to pull the boys, but so far good reaction, good response here by MaNa. Able to pull the boys, is able to really deny this without the eBay getting too much progression. Oh my god. You know what's better than 1 eBay block? 2 eBay blocks. What an animal. Este Cure. Ay. I mean, because that he's going to be successful in delaying the expansion by a little bit longer here, but is forced to cancel nonetheless. No shot. Do we get a third? do we get a third eBay? No shot. There we go. Kill on the SCV. Get out of here. Este, Papi, Cure wants to get fired. You don't do that to the manager. You don't. You don't do that to the boss, Papi. Oh my god. Cure playing with fire to calm down. Oh my god. But at least MaNa kills the SCV. At least he does kill the SCV. I was referring in particular to the game on Abyssal Reef. Oh, I think that was fine. If I recall correctly. I was referring to the game on King's Cove. Unless, did something happen on Abyssal Reef? That we missed out on? Or that was messing up the stream? But for now, we're going to be settling in. It is going to be a Twilight Council opener. Twilight Council here out of MaNa. So far, so good. So Twilight Council into Blink. Meanwhile, Cure across the map going for his own 1-1 setup. 1-1-1 setup even. Going for a delayed TC. Delayed command center here by Cure. Going for the faster factory, faster starport. Much more of an aggressive build here by our Terran player. Maybe a quick per. Okay, I see. No, yeah. I don't think I'm not gonna recast game 2 of Hero vs. Down because I've already casted it. I'm not gonna go over matches that we've already covered. But I will go over game 1 again just because for those that are curious, when we were covering specifically it was the Hero vs. Down series last night live for OlimoLeague. I was experiencing a lot of frame drops, and the VOD is pretty hard to watch. So I will be recasting it. Now though, we're settling in. Do you have Cure going to be expanding, setting up for his drop? Again, it's going to be a mass marine drop initially. Cure going to be moving out across the map. Didn't know you'd cast it. Oh, yeah. But, PSA, we are the official English caster for OlimoLeague. we were live last night, casting it live. We were there. Smooch. Here we're just catching up on matches that we missed. Catching up on the matches that we missed here. As we do have the adept shading in. Oh, he's gonna be shut down. But does get a full scout, does get eyes on the production setup here, the initial maxes, the initial tank. With the early medevac, I imagine that Cure wants to move out sooner rather than later. I would imagine. There we go. As he's going for his drop. Back at home, we did mention Blink. We have 2 gateways in the main. We have 1 gateway with the natural. Same build as game 1. A 3-gate Blink out of MaNa. This time, he doesn't have to worry about defending against Widowmine drops, so he can focus on being aggressive. The Prism is out, and MaNa is pushing. Now, as a reminder, it's only 3 gateways, so this is not an all-in by any means. It is pressure designed to contain the Terran. And so far, so good, is containing Cure. At least that's the goal, but Cure does slip out with some Marines, and he does come across the 3rd base. The 3rd base has been spotted. We see MaNa going to be rotating over. Oh! Does catch a Raven. Massive pickup. Raven, oh no! Does not go down. Whew. Barely survives with 8 HP. Ay, ay, ay. Raven does survive. MaNa dives into the main. At the same time, drop into the main base of MaNa. Trying to keep up. 1 Stalker does fall. Stalker goes down. Jump into the main. Watch the Korean stream? Oh, I see. But that's our stream on Chichik. As we do get 10 probes going to be going down. Nice target firing here out of Cure. Stalkers into the main. But MaNa, he's lost a lot of workers already. A lot of workers have gone down. MaNa being forced back. And with that, MaNa, he does come out worse for wear. He lost a little workers, is getting his 3rd base, but so far his counter aggression just wasn't as successful. Again, he missed out on the Raven. Yo, Cure, he didn't come home to repair. He's crazy. He's 1 shot away from going down. Ay, ay, ay. Animal, papi, animal. As Cure is making his way in towards that natural. There is 1 Stalker in position. That's more than enough. So, yeah, the Raven can't really get much done. Meanwhile, we do have Cure settling in. Still building up on 2 bases. He has his 3-1-1 setup. No 3rd TC yet. Only 1 eBay. And he might just be going for a +1 timing. MaNa, mass expanding, taking a 4th. But I'm worried here because Cure, he might just pull the trigger on 2 bases. He might even pull the voids with this. He has the option. Okay, never mind. 3rd CC. 3rd CC is now on the way. A much later 3rd base, but because the 3rd base is so late, how many tanks? 4. There's 4 tanks with the main army. Mass Bio, Stim, Combat Shields. Cure is getting ready to break out. He's ready for it. Likewise, I love that MaNa's also set up to counterattack. Once Cure moves out, the goal here is MaNa backstabs and hits the main. MaNa, he does chip away at the Marines. A couple of Marines do go down. Raven diving in towards that natural. Still gets off the auto turret, still survives somehow. I don't know how. 4 probes go down. Likewise, Prism into the main as well. But there are reinforcements. Still getting 3, 4 SCVs, not bad. 5 SCVs do fall, but here comes the main army for Cure. Looking to knock down that 4th. Tanks a little bit late to siege. Zelts dive in, tanks are exposed, he gets 1, he gets 2. 2, 3 tanks going down. Massive pickups, gonna get a 4th. Barely not. Popping up there by Cure. Saves the final tank. Maintaining himself, but this was a better trade for MaNa. Getting 3 tanks. Zelts are coming from behind. Oh no! The final tank will finally go down. Gets 1 extra shot off. And MaNa holds. I say that reinforcements on the way. The Immortal is exposed. Cure's making through the auto turret. The Raven. The 8 HP Raven comes in, snipes the Immortal. Gets a Prism as well. Ay, ay, ay. Yo, that Raven did go down, but achieved so much. Crazy. Kira, he will push in, takes down the shield battery, and Kira might just have too much momentum. As opposed to Neon Violet Square, the rush distance by ground on this map is far shorter. Reinforcements just rallying across the map, and Kira is looking to kill. Shuts down the Zealots. Third base on location. Fourth base has been broken. It's gonna fall. MaNa trying to buy time. First Colossus is on the way, and Kira doesn't care about the fourth. He wants to go for the third. He wants to keep going. Does want to keep pushing. Mansion's going to be going up. Ooh. Decent splits there towards the end by MaNa, but Zealots is still going down. And he needs a backbone to his army, whether it's an Immortal, whether it's his Colossus. He needs something. Speaking of, first Colossus has arrived. But it's exposed. He's stepping in. He wants it. He wants a Colossus. It goes down. It does tumble over. It's just so fragile and so exposed. There's nothing to support, and it looks like MaNa hasn't broken. GG gets called, and Cure will take the series 2-0. GG. Whew. Also, I just realized I had the wrong score on the screen, but Cure was up 1-0, and here he will take it 2-0. GG, well played. Will take it, but a shout out to MaNa, especially game one. I feel like game one, MaNa, he was able to showcase himself a little bit more. He was looking a little more impressive, keeping up with Cure. Here in game two, I mean, Cure was just contained on 2 bases. He was just building up before he broke out across the map. MaNa had some good moments, especially killing the first 3 tanks, but it was really unfortunate that he missed out on sniping the Raven, and likewise missed out on sniping that 4th tank as well. Like, it all slowly built up over time. It slowly snowballed out of control there in favor of Cure. GG. GG, well played. I see someone asking in chat, is this on the mod that fixes the Cyclone? From my understanding, Pudding Puppy, there are no tournaments that have been held without that mod. So if you're watching StarCraft, if you're watching tournaments, all of them have been using the mod. I don't think there has been a tournament without it, so as a heads up. So basically, tournaments, they don't experience that. Really, it's only on the ladder. It's only on the ladder that you should be seeing, or I guess like personal streams and ladder streams where you'll be experiencing that sort of stuff. But if you're watching a tournament on stream, like, it's going to be using the mod. Just as a heads up. But yeah, with that, GG, well played. Cure does take it. Does take it.